From my little work area down here, I have been trying to light this place up. You know, I don't like mobs. I don't want them spawning around me. So even in some of these towers and on the roof, I've been adding some torches just temporarily until I can get the lighting sorted out once the roof is final and complete. But I can't do much about pillager patrols. And these guys decided to spawn right up here. Really unfortunate. They have... Look at them. They're arguing. They're arguing because they have no idea what to do. They're blaming the other one. Who decided to spawn here? You, it was your idea. Well, what can we do up here? How are we going to get down? Sorry, guys. Hey, I'm down here. It's down here. Oh, over here. Okay, I'm having a little too much fun. Hey, I gotta have some fun as I'm working on this giant castle here. Ah, the spires. Yes. The spires are fun to put in. Now, most of them are made of gray wool. This one and this one over here. The gray wool represents a slate. So these roofs were originally made of slate, much like deep slate. And the thing with actual deep slate is it kind of has too much of a pattern. And that's fine for these sections of the roof. But for the spires, I wanted them to have a simple flat pattern, and gray wool works very well for that. It's a little too bland to cover the entire roof, so that's why we want to go with some deep slate on the wings of the castle. This one here, it's more prominent, central tower. We went with polished deep slate up and down on that one. The actual castle has about 520 windows. And the windows that I'm putting in on the main levels of the castle are framed with walls. So we've got stone, brick, cobble, and andesite walls framing the windows with chains inside to break up, so sort of represent individual window panes. And we're going to go deeper into the windows once all of the walls are in. And there are a few different designs that I have for that, and we can discuss those a little bit later. Some of them work really well in creative, but not exactly survival friendly. We'll try a compromise there. I think there are a couple of designs that will work really nicely and will still look good. So we have both of the wings in, and the next step, of course, will be to work on the roof. I mean, it's almost Grian complete. If I were Grian, I would basically be done now. But of course, we can't leave it like this. The next phase will be adding the roof line for this wing over here and the other one as well. We have a few more details to add on the tower that I don't have along with me, but you can see the hoppers, this line of hoppers extending all the way across. In the actual castle, there is something that breaks up the border between the first and the second floor. Obviously, it's not hoppers. I don't even know what it is architecturally. It's a ledge, a small ledge that runs across the entire castle, and that kind of breaks up the levels, the floors. I chose hoppers for this because when they're pointing into the block, so pointing away from us, there's a lower edge to them, a lower sort of part that's jutting out below. When the hopper's pointing straight down, there's more depth to it. It's a lot larger looking. But when it's pointing into the block facing away from us, it has a nice little lip underneath it. And this really looks like an ornamental ledge that would work. You know, from a distance, you can't tell that they're hoppers. It doesn't, just because they're redstone components doesn't mean you can't use them in building. And I think it really looks really nice as a ledge that breaks up the first and second floor. And so instead of having a really boring gray blob of stone up and down the face of the walls, we have this ledge that breaks things up really nicely. And the color, the dark color, because it's black, it sort of hints at the roof line. It's another way of contrasting with the stone and bringing out the color of the roof. That's free cam it, of course. We can get a better view. You know what? If we take the FOV down to 45, that's really the way that you need to look at this castle. And it will just look stunning, absolutely stunning, once we've got the windows complete and the roof as well. In the center, where we've got this big empty space and this big blank wall, so the main tower, the clock tower, was actually finished last. So I do want to build it last. It was built almost 40 years after the original castle was started. It took a while. I mean, it's a large build in real life or in Minecraft. So Neo-Gothic castles had lots of pointy towers, and this one has these spires on either end, sort of, I don't know what they're called, Rapunzel towers? Maybe, I don't know. But there are about 9 of them across the castle in varying dimensions. We also have arched roofs, and also this sort of ornamented sloping roof style. And here I've alternated going up 3 blocks. So using stone brick slabs, we can get an angle of 3, 1.5 blocks angling up. So it's morning now, overlooking the caretaker's cottage. These small picture windows that frame the roof of this part of the wing, the west wing, I guess it would be, of the castle. And I tried to reproduce these as accurately as possible. It's really difficult because they're very small in proportion to the rest of the castle. They're very small, and I decided to keep it simple with some diorite walls and stairs and slabs, with again the chain in the middle. And I've put just gray concrete behind it to sort of hide what is behind. Ordinarily, when, say, from outside, you're looking at a building that has windows and the sun is shining, you can't really see through to the other side. If we were to use glass, you could see through it, just the way that Minecraft lighting works, and that's not really realistic. So we don't really want to use glass for windows. It doesn't look accurate. It doesn't look real. It looks fake. The light just bleeds through way too much. Whereas in reality, when you look at a house or a building or a castle that has windows in it, the glass is mainly reflective, and you can't really see through it unless it's dark and there's light coming from inside. But normally, when you would look at it, you wouldn't be able to see through. It would be reflecting the light of the sky back outside. Our design for the windows is going to try to approximate that. And also, because this castle, the windows, they're not 9 meters high on the first floor, but they are very large, and they're made up of small individual panes. And I'm going to try to recreate that as accurately as possible, as much as we can. Try to give that sense that these are really large windows, but composed of small panes of glass. A nice aerial shot of the progress we've made. I'm actually quite surprised I was able to get this much done with only 1 trip back to my base. The primary materials, not a lot of variety. Again, we're dealing mainly with stone. Our detailing is also fairly simple so far. We're using hoppers, we're using a lot of chains. On here, we've mixed it up a little bit by alternating walls with upside down grindstones. That has an interesting effect from a long distance. It does look very much like the decorations that you would see on the underside of castle walls. And the roof, we don't have that much variety either, just 3 varieties of deep slate, mostly full blocks, some slabs and stairs as well. And on this side, we're also using some additional blocks above those, the upside down stairs. The deep slate stairs are there to introduce the roof line, which we will get to very soon. And the blocks above them are weathered slightly. So they were mostly smooth stone, but some of them have worn away. They've become gray, they've become weathered. They've picked up some of the material from the roof and started to wear down slightly. Now, what's missing on this side, I will have to wait for a bit. I don't have a good design for it yet that I'm happy with. It's kind of a chapel, so it uses a slate roof that juts out at an angle, like a cone, like a half cone on its side. If you look at the original photos of the original castle, you'll see what I mean. And the lower section is covered in moss, in vines. I'm still working through a few different designs for that. And also I don't have any of the moss blocks with me. So we're going to save that for a while. I think the next step is to get the roof in. It's going to look a whole lot better. And then we can turn our attention back to the sides and the rear side, which in itself, the back of this castle, I do not want to omit because it's beautiful. It's almost as beautiful as the front. This motif of the angled roof, that will appear 3 times on the opposite side of the castle, and it looks stunning. It's just amazing. We're going to see how much work we can get done on the roof without needing to do any more deep slate mining. I still have a shulker full of cobble deep slate. We'll see how far that goes. That is our plan. Get some of that roof in. Be careful of the lighting so that we don't have any mobs dropping on us as we're working down here. All right, and I will catch you on the flip side. So far, this has been a pretty replay-heavy episode, right? We've just been focusing on building, so I wanted to have a little bit of adventure. As it starts to rain, of course, I've been exploring the area a little bit, just checking out the caves underneath the castle site. Just make sure I'm acquainted with the area that I will be building in. So down here in this cave, I discovered something that needs to be addressed. Been lighting this place up a little bit, but can't be too careful. Okay, so first thing I want to point out is that this is an absolutely massive cavern. The next thing that I need to show you, it's deep dark, all right. Oh yeah. You see that? Deep slate tile. That's not natural generation. Here, let's do this night vision. So we have a suspended mine shaft here, but we also have deep slate tiles. That is the unmistakable sign of an ancient city. This cannot be allowed. Oh no, we're going to have to do something about this. I am not going to let a warden live under my castle. When Ali-kun and I raided our first ancient city last year, it didn't go very well for me. I got blasted. But we went back there and built a special contraption that I'm going to show you very soon. I need to make sure that it's loaded. And that allows us to loot any ancient city on the entire server. That's right, we built a Warden Switch. And we picked up a massive amount of loot from the ancient cities. And most especially, enchanted golden apples. And yes, I know they stack, but they just look more impressive that way. Okay, So now that I've discovered there is an ancient city beneath Castle Miranda, I need to take care of it and make sure the wardens never spawn there. But we're not going to take any chances. There is a small chance that the Warden Switch will not operate. So we're going to bring our backup armor. We're going to take off all of our good gear and store it safely away in here. So we're going to put on our extra diamond armor that we usually use for dangerous missions. And we're going to put away all of our good tools as well. Anything I don't want to lose, basically. All right, that should be a good loadout. The gearbox, the nether box, and I've also brewed up a whole bunch of potions of night vision. I think we're ready to go now. Now, I did alert the crew. I've never tried this before when other people were online, so I'm not exactly sure if the Warden Switch will work if anyone else is also visiting an ancient city. So I just wanted to make sure that those guys stayed far away from any ancient cities while we get the job done here. So now let's make our way back to that ancient city. I haven't been there in a long time. And here we are, the scene of last year's disaster. Let's hope things are easier this time. Terrifying drop. Yep, this is where I got blasted last year. That'll brighten things up a bit. Now, this ancient city is pretty safe. We cleaned out all the shriekers and sensors in here. But the point of interest is right over here. It's terrifying every time I come here. You can hear the warden spawn sound constantly, and yet there's no warden anywhere. That's because we're tricking the warden into thinking that we are triggering a shrieker every 30 seconds or so. Inside this wool tunnel, there is a naturally generated shrieker at one end and a skulk sensor at the other, right next to a block of wool that is getting pushed up and down by a piston connected to a timer. You just saw it right there. Anyone can use the Warden Switch, but only one person at a time, and it has to be the one who shoots the arrows. The game associates these arrows with us, so when the arrows bounce up and down, the shrieker tells the warden that our arrows are causing the noise. Let's cover that back up. But the timer is set up to exactly match the warden's cooldown, thus causing an infinite loop where the warden is always just about to spawn, but never actually has the chance. And because of this chunk loader right here, we can theoretically go to any ancient city on the server, and still no warden will spawn. This Warden Switch is Ilmango's design, and this contraption let me loot 3 ancient cities without a care in the world. But there is a slight chance, maybe because of server lag or some other reason, that a different shrieker, one that you're near, would take priority over the one in the Warden Switch. And if that happens, all bets are off. The warden spawns right in your face with 0 warning. That actually did happen to me on my 3rd city. I was just casually wandering around, opening up chests, and suddenly, bam, warden. Super scary. Even Ilmango warns that this can happen. It's a small chance, but we still have to be prepared for it, and that's why we're going in with backup gear. Now let's get back to Castle Miranda and see if this thing really works. Okay, looks like there's a little bit of activity at the iron farm. Blockmeister tells me there's a witch. There's a witch. Okay. All right. Well, we're back. We are in front of the portal for to go back to the castle. So let's get our gear. Let's get our gear all set up. Let's just top up our arrows. Arrows. They're talking about arrows. There's a problem at our mob farm. It's overrun with arrows. Yeah, I meant the boombox. Let's make sure we've got enough rockets here to make a quick getaway if needed. All right. Now we're going in. Now we're actually going in. I don't know why I brought a shield, because it will do zero good. Zero good at all. All right, I've lit up this place with torches so that hopefully we can see it in case we need to make a quick getaway. Lunch party of creepers over there. Here we go. Oh, look at this. It just opens right up. Oh, boy. All right, we're in. We are in. There's the portal right there. Oh, there's chests everywhere. Like it, like it. Still a little scared. We should be okay, but, you know, I'm still a little scared. And we'll get rid of these noisy beasts. Yeah, let's see. Alright, we're just walking on a shrieker right now. I think we're in good shape then. If we can do that, then the Warden Switch is working. As I started working my way through the city, I made an interesting discovery. Huh? Okay, what's going on here? Where's my spyglass? That's another... Right? That's another frame. That's another... There are two ancient cities here. So I got to work exploring both of these ancient cities, clearing out all of the shriekers and looting all the chests I came across. Another fun fact about ancient cities, they make great XP farms. With the amount of sculk blocks around, I was able to fully repair my Silk Touch pickaxe. I also made a very lucky discovery. The Ward Armor Trim, our first armor trims in 1.20. Back at our base, I've organized all the souvenirs we collected from those two connected ancient cities. A whole lot of music discs, we got books, coal, bones, 43 chests I ended up coming across. Lots of potions of regen, we got some amethyst shards, echo shards, disc fragments, and also we've got 3 more enchanted golden apples to add to our collection. The Ward Armor Trim, our first one. Some extra diamonds and a lot of Swift Sneak books. When Ollie-kun comes back, we'll do some proper adventuring together and collect more of those awesome armor trims. Also, all the skulk shriekers and sensors have been knocked out. The cities are nice and clean, and we won't be bothered by the prospect of a warden sanctuary right underneath our castle. I think that's an excellent way to wrap up this episode. I'll be working on both Castle Miranda and the Draugen, and we'll be back soon to show you my progress. Please subscribe to the channel to come along with me on this journey and take part in these exciting builds. I'll leave you with the replay footage that Block sent me, and some advice. Always protect your villagers from the elements, otherwise you may be in for some unfortunate consequences. Until next time, I am the Talent. Today, we made history, and tomorrow, we're gonna make magic.